Hyperinflation is a phenomenon often misunderstood, frequently dismissed as a relic of history or a problem exclusive to developing nations. However, it is far more than a simple acceleration of price increases. It represents a destructive spiral, a profound breakdown of trust in a nation's currency. This economic malignancy serves as a stark symptom of deeper systemic failures. Understanding its mechanisms is not merely an academic exercise. It is crucial for navigating the inherent fragilities of modern economic systems. At its core, hyperinflation is defined by a rapid and excessive increase in general price levels. This occurs across all goods and services within an economy, eroding stability and predictability. The primary cause of this economic catastrophe is almost invariably the government's decision to finance its spending through excessive money printing. This uncontrolled influx of new currency into circulation inevitably devalues the existing money supply, triggering a chain reaction of economic destruction. The immediate consequences of hyperinflation are devastatingly direct. Individuals experience a dramatic loss of purchasing power, seeing their ability to acquire even everyday necessities evaporate. Savings, once a cornerstone of financial security, are wiped out, rendered virtually worthless overnight. This profound erosion of wealth elicits a predictable public reaction. People rush to spend their money as quickly as possible. They do this in a desperate attempt to acquire tangible assets or goods before the currency loses even more of its rapidly dwindling value. Beneath the surface, complex and intertwined mechanisms drive hyperinflation into a vicious cycle. An increased money supply, fueled by government deficits, often combines with declining production capacity within the economy. This perfect storm creates an environment ripe for economic collapse, as too much money chases too few goods. This imbalance fuels a vicious cycle where rising prices lead to further currency devaluation, demanding even more money printing, which in turn pushes prices yet higher. The impact on individuals and society is profound and often irreversible. For the individual, the hardship is immense. Lifetime savings evaporate and pensions become worthless. It is often the middle class, with their fixed incomes and accumulated assets, who are most severely decimated. Societal unrest and political instability frequently follow this economic chaos. As people struggle to survive and basic needs become unattainable, the fabric of society begins to fray. Hyperinflation transcends a purely economic event. It signifies a catastrophic erosion of trust within society itself. Citizens lose faith in their government, their financial institutions, and even their fellow citizens. This economic cataclysm undermines the very social contract that binds a society together. It destroys societal bonds and breeds widespread cynicism, making cooperation and recovery an almost insurmountable challenge. In such extreme circumstances, populations are often forced to resort to desperate survival strategies. Bartering becomes common, as people directly trade goods and services to circumvent the worthlessness of the national currency. However, this shift to bartering introduces immense inefficiency into the economy. It hinders organized economic activity and inevitably gives rise to informal black markets, further entrenching the chaos. The defining characteristic of hyperinflation is its extreme rapidity. Prices can double not in months or weeks, but in a matter of days or even hours. This exponential escalation makes it virtually impossible for businesses to plan, invest, or even maintain basic operations. Production grinds to a halt, exacerbating shortages and further fueling the inflationary spiral. Governments in the grip of hyperinflation invariably struggle to regain control. Price controls are often implemented in a misguided attempt to stabilize costs, but these measures typically exacerbate the problems. Such controls inevitably lead to severe shortages, as producers refuse to sell goods at artificially low prices, withdrawing them from official markets. Adding to this misery, political instability and pervasive corruption often worsen the situation, preventing any meaningful reforms or effective policy responses. The long-term implications of hyperinflation are devastating, leaving severe economic damage that can cripple a nation for years, sometimes even decades. It leads to a catastrophic loss of international confidence, effectively isolating the economy and hindering foreign investment. Beyond the statistics, the human cost is immeasurable. Widespread poverty, malnutrition, and despair become prevalent. Social structures break down, and crime rates often rise dramatically as people fight to survive. It is a mistake to view hyperinflation as merely a historical footnote or an exotic problem confined to distant, struggling economies. It is not a relic of the past. Its underlying conditions persist globally. Excessive sovereign debt, political instability, and a lack of fiscal discipline are present in varying degrees in many economies today, even in some of the most developed nations. To assume immunity is to ignore the lessons of history. In conclusion, hyperinflation stands as a complex, multifaceted phenomenon. It is not simply an economic blip, but a profound symptom of deeper societal and governmental problems. It serves as a potent warning sign of systemic fragility, indicating when an economy is teetering on the brink of collapse. Understanding its mechanisms and devastating consequences is therefore crucial for students, investors, and policymakers alike, enabling them to recognize the dangers and navigate the inherent instabilities of the modern world. Ultimately, the study of hyperinflation compels a critical reflection on governance, trust, and the fundamental importance of sound economic stewardship. It highlights the inherent fragility of economic systems and the absolute necessity of responsible leadership.